Alright, so I've had these Oakley Meta Vanguards for about a week now. I brought them out to the range to give them a quick test. These are my first impressions, not a long-term verdict, just what I've been thinking about them so far. I'm going to get into the electronics, how they fit, the camera quality, how they hold up with Ear Pro, and the lens durability. Just a whole rundown, so let's get on into it. Most of the people you see reviewing these are cyclists, runners. I haven't seen a lot of shooters reviewing these yet. This isn't a total review. I've only had these for about a week or so. I've taken them out to 2 range days, and I wanted to give you my perspective as a shooter. As a shooter, there's a lot of features on these things that aren't the most useful. Like, I'm not going to be tracking miles that I'm running or anything like that. I'll tell you right off the bat, I think the most useful feature in these is to be able to argue something like a DQ at a match. If you have a first-person view of what happened after a DQ, then it makes it a lot easier to prove that maybe the RO called something that didn't actually happen. As well as being able to go back and review stage runs or drills that you ran and pick up little things that you might be missing or doing wrong. For that, I think they're great. Let's talk about the specs. It's a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. So it's like when you hit 0.6 on your camera and get that wide angle view. That's about the field of view that you get through the camera on these. Oakleys have a very specific style, and if you're into the Oakley style, I think they look pretty cool. If you're into a different style of glasses and you're a hipster, then go get the Ray-Bans or something, I don't know. It's got 2 speakers on the frame. They're not bone conducting speakers, so if you have them really loud and somebody's pretty close by, they could probably hear what you're listening to. They're also integrated with Meta AI. So if you don't want Mark Zuckerberg or Peter Thiel to know how many deltas and mics you're throwing, then these might not be the thing for you. Personally, I kind of assume that anything I do outside of like a skiff, not that I've ever been in a skiff, is going to be recorded and stored somewhere anyway. So that part doesn't bother me too much, especially as a content creator. You kind of give up your privacy in a lot of ways anyway. If that's something you are concerned about, yeah, I'd be worried about them too. It'll respond whenever you say, hey, and then Meta. They're IP67 rated, so I think if it's raining out or if you get splashed with water or something like that, they're not going to die out on you. The lenses are, Oakley calls them prism optics. They're not rated safety glasses. So there is that little bit of risk that if you shoot a steel target and you get some frag coming back at you, that's something to be a little concerned about. I think the lenses are pretty strong, but they're not ANSI rated. That system requires the whole pair of glasses to be rated together. So with all the electronics and everything in these, they're not up to that standard. That being said, I imagine the lenses themselves are relatively strong because they are the same kind of lens technology that Oakley uses in other glasses. But that is something to be noted. Battery life, I think on the spec sheet it says about 6 hours, but with real world use, you get anywhere between like 90 minutes to 2.5 hours. It's not the best, but if you're recording in like 2 to 5 minute chunks, you know, you get about a full range day worth of use out of them. So the battery life isn't something I'm super concerned about. And the case that it comes with charges up to, I think it says 36 hours. Who knows what that actually turns out to be in real life. I haven't done extensive testing on these. The fit. It comes with 3 different nose pads, a small, medium, and large. I use the large, so it gives a little bit more room around my nose to fit closer to my eyes. I like that because it doesn't interfere with if I'm wearing a hat or a helmet or anything like that. I find the large to be a little better, but that's going to depend on your face. For me, they've been working quite well. I didn't notice any lack of seal with over-ear hearing protection. So I put on my Walker razors, shot a couple rounds. They work just fine. I don't think they impede any protection when you're using headphone style Ear Pro. Yeah, like I said, I've taken them out to 2 range days so far. I haven't noticed any serious issues or incompatibilities with any of the gear I'm wearing. So I don't think they're going to get in your way if you're using them to record drills or matches or anything like that. Yeah, I'm going to take these out to my next match to test them out a little bit more. They only film vertically, so I wish there was a way you could flip them to film horizontal, but that's just not something that they're designed for. Quick shout out to my company, Shooter's Preference. If you guys are looking to support the channel and want to pick up some cool gear, go ahead and hit the links in the description. Maybe there's something you might be interested in there. I make everything myself. This right here is called the ammo sack. It's just an ammo bag with a wrist strap to make it easier to load mags with. So go check them out and let's get on back to the video. I took a lot of footage today. You guys can kind of be the judge of how you like the footage. I think there's 3 different resolutions. You can only film at 60 FPS at 1200 pixels. If you get into 2 and 3K, it'll only film at 30 frames per second. There's also a slow-mo capture. So if you want to get slow-mo footage, it's capable of that as well. So do I think you should pick a pair of these up as a shooter? It's hard to say. If you're really serious about your match performance and reviewing all of your drill footage and trying to use that footage to get better, then yeah, personally, I think they're worth it. You'll pay a little less for something like one of those cameras that clips onto your hat, or a GoPro, or some camera like that. But I think a really big advantage for these is that they're always on your face. So you don't have to worry about, you know, clipping on a camera and then checking the viewfinder on your phone or something like that. You put them on at the beginning of the day and they're there ready to go. I imagine future generations are going to be improved. So maybe these aren't the ones you want to get. Maybe you want to wait for Gen 2 or Gen 3. The original Ray-Ban Metas were out for a while before these came out. So these have a little bit more R&D behind them, I think. And personally, I'm a fan of Oakley. I just like their style and their designs. For match use, for training use, I give them a thumbs up so far from everything that I've been able to tell. Base price $4.99, and then replacement lenses are, I think, $85 a piece. They have a bunch of different lenses, like they have transitions, which might be the way to go, because if you're doing any sort of low light shooting or shooting into the evening, then the tint might not be the best thing for you. If there's anything else that comes up, any failure points, then I'll be the first one to let you guys know. I've seen some competitors use them in matches before, but I haven't seen anybody doing a full review of them yet. I don't think they've quite been out long enough to get a full test of them, but I've been playing with them for a little bit, so I just wanted to let you guys know how I feel about them. So if you guys enjoyed hearing about these new Oakley Meta Vanguards, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button to see more stuff like this. Hit me in the comments if you have any questions or anything you guys want me to cover in the future. Links will be in the description to my store, Shooter's Preference. That's the best way to support the channel if you guys are interested in that. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end, and we'll catch you in the next one. $8:02. Fuck, it's hot out here.